Hi, my name is Juan Pablo Aranda Medel, and I am a biomedical engineering student. I did my practices in the Christus Muguerza Hospital Betania in the project called Biomedical Engineering Department Management in a Hospital. These are the subtitles of my presentation, and we're going to start with the project description. The project description consists of daily runs around the hospital areas using a checklist to confirm that all medical equipment is functioning correctly, attending reports during preventive maintenance and department management. In the objectives, well, I have only one main objective, that was learn how to manage a biomedical engineering department in a hospital by doing daily checkups to the medical equipment around the different hospital areas to prove that they are working correctly using checklists. That was like basically the project description, but let's make it an objective. Next, I have the goals. The first one is learn how the hospital's biomedical engineering department works by doing a report with evidence of the internship. That was the report that was presented before during the presentation. And learn how the medical equipment in a hospital works by working side by side with the biomedical engineering engineers and doing an online certification. Well, I work with two engineers in the biomedical department, so they help me learn all the things in the practices and doing this report. In the technical specifications, I selected the medical equipment that I oversaw the most in the hospital, starting with the vital signs monitor that displays the electrocardiogram, oxygen saturation, blood pressure, and more. The sphygmomanometers are the ones that measure blood pressure, the oximeters measure saturation, and the electrocardiogram, the electrical signals of the heart. The anesthetic machine was also present in the hospital in the most important areas like the operating rooms. The defibrillators were also important in every room of the hospital. The hemodialysis machine that was supplied with processed water from the inverse osmosis. Finally, the medical imaging area. The hospital has an X-ray machine, computerized tomography, ultrasound, and an MRI. And also it has a fluoroscopy, but in practice I did not manage the fluoroscopy. There was a methodology that was followed and consisted in learning the functions of the biomedical engineering department in a hospital, learning the functions and maintenance of medical equipment in a hospital, introduction to the different areas of the hospital, daily checkups with a checklist, and performing the daily task of a biomedical engineer in a hospital. These all tasks were developed since day one, so it helped me learn all the process in the hospital. And the results, the prime result was the knowledge obtained in the biomedical field. The manipulation of medical equipment was very helpful in the teaching of its functions and maintenance. Also in the medical field, how a hospital works was learned. This is like a vague idea of what the results were, but basically the main task that I did was checking all the biomedical equipment daily. So that's what I learned about the monitors, the defibrillators that were the most medical equipment that I oversaw. Finally, the conclusions. According to the goals described earlier, it is safe to say that they were achieved. The daily checkups were done so the task was performed correctly. During the checkups, the student was able to gain knowledge about how the medical engineering department works in a hospital and how the medical equipment works. One of the main contributions to the practices was the help the medical engineering department gained from the intern. One thing that I like to say about the goals that was achieved also was that the biomedical engineers suggested me to take a course about uh, invasive ventilators, so I am still doing the course and I will get a certification at the end, so that's something I would like to add to the conclusions. Now that's the end of the presentation, and thank you for your attention.